Relationship with money no day, it go later boring. It go later sour, it go later scatter. She go serve it breakfast on the.
Here is
105.5.
105.6. One station, all the hits.
105.5. Splash. Splash FM 105.5.
Okay, good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Book Splash on Splash FM 105.5 Ibadan. This is the program for lovers of books and writers. So let's savor the moment once again today. I am Michael Olatunbosun. Today we're talking about reading. And my guest is already seated. But before we go ahead and do that, before I open the microphone for my guest, I thought to ask the question. Have you taken any book to read this year? This is 2024. We've seen about 62 days already in the year. So how many books have you read? So essentially about 8 weeks or 9 in the year already. So how many books have you read in 2024, if any? It is a fundamental question to ask, indeed, because we have been told that reading is a pleasurable activity. And it helps to broaden our minds and transport us to places we will probably never be able to travel to in our lifetime. But a lot of times, I've been challenged to show one person who is hungry and thinks about reading a book. Even the Yorubas will say, "Ebiki iwonu, koro mi owo." So today, we will discuss the state of the reading culture in Nigeria and how reading advocates go about promoting reading in hard times, as we have now across the land. Once again, it's Book Splash on Splash FM 105.5. Watch us live on Facebook, will you? If you quickly go to Splash FM 1055 live on Facebook, you'll find our streaming live. And then you can also listen via our website, www.splashfm1055.com. You can also listen on Radio Garden. Just type in Splash FM. You'll find us there. We're everywhere you can imagine. Okay. My guest is the president and founder of Reading Awareness Society for Development in Africa. It's called RASDA for short. She is also an ambassador of the Association of Nigerian Authors, ANA. She founded RASDA to address the issue of dying culture, of reading in Nigeria, especially because of the connection between poor reading culture and failure rate in examinations by students. She's the wife of the former governor of Oyo State, Senator Rashidi Ladoja, the Otun Olubadan of Ibadan land. This is Bukola Ladoja. Welcome to Book Splash.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you, madam.
Yeah, I'm grateful also for bringing me.
Wow. Let's talk about reading, for instance. I've been reading about your trajectory, and I saw one news article where you said that you actually deceived your father into believing that you were reading.
Yes.
In another one, you said that he encouraged his children, even though he was not learned, exactly. But I just thought to ask you, how did the reading journey begin for you?
Well, my reading journey began from my student days in the 70s. The point I can remember was when I was in the secondary school. But I knew my father had started on me since I was a pupil of Alafia Nursery and Primary School. In fact, because he wanted me to read well and read hard, he took me to the boarding house when boarding house was not popular. So I was a boarding student of Alafia Nursery and Primary School, Mokola then. And we were encouraged a lot to read. Our late proprietress, Chief Mrs. Janet Igbinola Bolariwa, did a lot of work on us to give us a background, to set the background on, imbibing reading culture. But you know, one thing with reading culture is you can be introduced to reading culture in the school.
Yes.
But for you to actually imbibe the culture has a lot to do with the parenting. Parents don't know that they have a lot to do with their children imbibing reading culture. So I thank God for the kind of dad I had. My dad worked on me because he was an illiterate, but he was dealing with literate people. His bankers. He was once an exporter of cocoa, so he was dealing with white people, and he knew that the difference between him and these people was education. So he now wanted us to just have that education at all cost, and he invested a lot. You know, the nursery school was not popular when we were growing up. So it must be an extra investment for him to take us to Alafia at that time. I thank God for that background. And the way he did it, he will always scold us. He will always, you know, scold us, talk about this reading. This reading was more or less what he was interested in every night, every day. Go and take your books. Even if you are to take money from him for anything, he will ask you, have you read a book today? So when I now saw that there is a kind of connection between getting good things from him and reading.
Okay.
I just sat there and said, look, me, I love good things. So, and if I have to see the good of this man, let me just do what he wanted. So I was reading to please him. It wasn't because I was young. I wouldn't even know the importance of reading. I wouldn't know that reading can now take me to, I can't mention it enough. I can't thank God enough for that background. And that's why I always appeal to parents also, because it has nosedived, because parents have lost that area of children mentoring now.
Particularly doing by example.
Thank you very much. Particularly doing. In actual fact, there's a reading club I have for some students and pupils and other secondary schools. In fact, we are seeing what we can do this year. And what I wrote, as if you were there, what I wrote on the platform on our WhatsApp for the parents was, look, this year it will be a combination of students and parents. We want you parents also to imbibe this reading culture. Because without you mentoring these children at home, reading in their presence, even if it is your Bible or maybe your church material or your Quran or anything that will just make you to take a book, whatever the nature of the book, and read in the presence of the children, we have to synergize parenting with reading culture. Good mentoring, good parenting.
All right, it's still Book Splash on Splash FM 105.5 here in the city of Ibadan. We're streaming live on Facebook. Mrs. Bukola Ladoja is chatting with me. We're talking reading. And I will come to the theme that I've chosen for today, which is promoting reading in hard times.
That's a good topic. It's very relevant for this season.
You see, I started with that conversation. Yoruba say, I remember reading, from, I think it was Chinua Achebe who translated this into his domesticated English. He said that when hunger enters the stomach, every other matter becomes irrelevant. So you want someone who has probably not eaten today to say, take a book and read. It's a difficult call to make when you are faced with the economics of this day and you are trying to encourage someone to read. So because you are a reader you are a promoter of reading, and it's something that you have done, it's when they say show sheyiri, so you have example, you have instances, you have a story, you have a testimony of how you began to read and what reading has been able to do for you as we are. And it's still doing.
Yes.
So what do you say to people? I know that you have gone to, places where the economics, cannot be,
compared to
exactly. Nigeria. But then, what does it look like, or what does it feel like telling a hungry person
to
read?
Is there any other way out for the hungry person? That's what I want to ask you. Is there any other way out? Because if you are hungry, you need to find a way out. And the way out is in books. As you are looking at me now, because of the state of the economy, I had to still go back to school. Covenant University, at the African Leadership Development Center. I'm currently a student there now.
Student?
Now.
At 60 plus?
Yes, I was there in 2018 for a 1-year diploma in leadership development. So I'm a certified leadership coach.
Wow.
Look, it is in the, the problem with Nigeria. We love discussing problems. We don't like to provide solutions. And there's no way we want to provide, because part of the skill or the heart of problem solving is for you to be intentional and be authentic about getting out of the problem. It's not about discussions. It's not about social media discussion of me. It's not about even protests. It's about going back to the books, going back to libraries and look for solutions. For instance, what I do now, this economy is affecting everybody. And what I do is to go back to books, to be intentional about coming out of it. Let me tell you, when a nation or an individual or an organization is into problems, that is when your creativity and innovation must be spurred to be alive. You understand? That's when you must, ignite your innovation and creativity. How can you ignite your creativity and innovation except you go back to books? Except you go and look for similar problems, look for extensively go into books to see new things, because this nation needs solutions for now. Yes.
We need solutions.
For now.
And solutions are locked in books.
They are locked in books.
They say that to keep anything away from the African particularly the black man,
put it in a book. That is what is happening now. Everybody is crying. Everybody is putting every blame on the government. What are you doing to bring a solution as an individual? Because let me tell you, any problem that a nation is going through starts with a person and a family. When you are not doing the right thing as a person, I'm not doing, you are not doing, everybody is not doing, collectively we are putting problems on the nation.
Okay.
Yes. Collectively. Who is Nigeria? Tell me who Nigeria is. Just show me Nigeria. I'm Nigeria, you are Nigeria. And we should all share all of us should share part of the blame. That it is because we are not doing the right thing that is putting this problem in this scenario and situation that we are in today. So all of us should go back to reading and go back to libraries, go back to researching, so that we can find a lasting solution to the Nigerian problem. All of us will be contributors, because I always tell people that, look, little drops of water comes together to make an ocean. Little drops of idea. You want to sit down and be just discussing. I want to sit down and be just discussing. Nobody is even whining your brain. Nothing is even interesting you. Looking at yourself, starting with self-discovery and self-assessment and self-auditing, that what can I do to add value to Nigeria? Everybody must sit down now and look at, we are hungry, it is true, but how did China came out of this kind of problem? We have seen many nations that had passed through worse situations than Nigeria. I remember that I was in China once or twice, about 2 times, and some kind of food that they were offering us, we are like, and I remember that they told me that it was because of the war time that they were exposed to so many
other options
that made them to be eating what we saw as high salt taboo here. And these people today, look at Singapore, look at Korea. You understand what I'm saying? They were in worse problems. They were almost killing their children to eat to survive. How did they come out? Can't we sit down and go and research into what brought them out of this the problem and the Kwama? But the Nigerian factor and African factor, we love folk tales, we love stories, we love to just transfer blames. We are all part of the problem?
We are part of the problem.
Yes.
But the leadership, well, you know, the leadership, particularly the political leadership, will drive policy. When they drive policy will help to reform society, to drive society forward.
Yeah.
And you see, when you talk about that, I remember I was reading a piece in the Punch of, it was March of 2023, where Punch newspaper quoted you saying that your reading is key to solving our nation's problems.
Yes, and I'm still on it.
And there's something that I wrote out here. You attributed the fact that we are not making progress in this country to the fact that our leaders are not tapping into, they are not getting sufficient preparations in terms of, deriving knowledge from extensive reading.
Are they readers? Are your political leaders? Look, look. I'm always very sensitive about putting blames on political leaders. What's their percentage to the Nigerian population?
Okay.
What? And one thing, because I don't want, because you have only a few minutes to show to have this program. If we go deep into it, the Nigerian curriculum is what is giving Nigeria problem.
How?
Thank you, because the Nigerian curriculum did not prepare leaders. They only prepare certificate holders.
Wow.
Yes. The Nigerian curriculum doesn't have the capacity to prepare leaders. Only certificates. You know, everybody will, it's like a rotate thing. You're reading purely your curriculum to have an A. Some will even be striving to have first class. It doesn't make any difference. What is the connectivity between the certificate and the environment to solve problems? We should train problem solvers, not certificate holders. Problem solvers. You see in the West, many of their children, they go for technical things, but the background to their own education is that from the beginning, they added leadership skills to the curriculum from even the toddlers, the crèche, the primary, the secondary. Leadership skills will always be entrenched. It's a very complex thing for Nigeria. What you don't have, you can't give.
Wow.
These leaders we are talking about, it is only what they have that they can offer. For instance, talk of any chairman of any local government here. What leadership skills have you given him that you are going to take back from him to rule? So we only have rulers. We don't have leaders, because only leaders can only become leaders. Because you lead by the virtue of the value you are adding to this to your assignment. The value, you must be a value adding personality before we can call you a leader, not by virtue of the fact that you won an election.
All right. Wow. Okay, it's still Book Splash on Splash FM 105.5. I am discussing with Mrs. Bukola Ladoja. She is the president and founder, Reading Awareness Society for Development in Africa, RASDA for short. She's also an ambassador of the Association of Nigerian Authors, ANA. Let us come to RASDA for a moment.
Yes.
I know that you started in 2007, and the urge to start that was from your observation of the
Mass failure in
national examinations and the rest of it. Just help us to understand how far you have traveled with RASDA.
I will refer you to our website, and our website will only show you maybe like 10% of what we are doing, because what we are doing, we are just working for God, adding value. So what we did was we identified the key stakeholders in education since the beginning.
Okay.
And we discovered that we need to work on parents, work on students, work on teachers, and work on the government. So those are the four key stakeholders: the teachers, the parents, the students, and the government. So all our programs were, we were working, making sure we are doing things that will impact the parents. So for instance, we always do workshops and seminars and advocacies. In actual fact, when we started, we went to markets. We went to Agbeni Market, Songo Market. We were with megaphone, going all over the place to tell those parents that, look, the child that you are not having time for today, that you are not taking care of, mind you, this Agbeni Market or Gbagi Market, you will get so old that you may not be able to come out again. It is the value you have added to your children that will determine the value of your old age. Some people are taking, yes, the value of what you are investing in those children now is not about money alone, it's about monitoring. We had illiterate parents and we were well monitored. I remember that my father, even then, we still take home lesson teacher as at 70s for us. So the man will engage us in the evening, he will give us extra and will see to our homework as at 70s, not even now. Are you getting it? So, but most parents now, they will not do the right thing with their children. They are too busy looking for money. Instead of holistically taking care of their children, they will even, some parents will even leave the work for the teachers. They will leave the children from 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. to the teacher and go and take the children 6 p.m. Because they don't want to do their. But whereas you must sit down to see to the fact that your children are well taken care of holistically. You understand? So we also worked on teachers. We did teacher trainings, and we sensitize government. We are doing a lot of things to make sure everybody takes. We even go to communities. We were at Oronyo, Ibadan Southeast local government, to sensitize. Thousands of people came out and we spoke to them about the importance of this reading culture, the literate people, not literate. And we were monitoring and seeing that they actually understood what we are saying. That you will see some people going to the bank now to take salaries monthly as an old person. He had already invested in that child. Yeah. You understand? So the value of your future, of your old age, is determined by the value you are putting into your children. And everything, and we did Read to Lead Africa reality TV show, the first of its kind in the world.
That was 2012, right?
Yes, 2012 to 2014. We did season 1, season 2, season 3. But because nobody is listening to us, we went to MTN told us unless it's football on the entertainment, that's why they can come and be part of it, this and that. But fortunately, if I'm going to Abuja again to attend one of RASDA's, we have a lot of them that attended. We use it to close the gap between the international schools and the public schools. We only dealt with public schools. So we went to bring in instructors from Atlantic Hall, instructors from Green Spring and Olashore. They were the ones that we designed the program together, and we were testing these public school students on a lot of skills that they were using to project their own children for international. And to the glory of God, if you Google it, a lot of RASDA participants became international students. Yeah, we have one that is even going to do law school graduation next week in Abuja. Yes, and they are from. In fact, if you are looking for the poorest of the poorest homes, they were from there, and we've exposed them, giving them confidence to inspire. One is an international lady now. Wow. Damilola Akintewe, all over the world. RASDA gave her the background to become confident. So
it's still Book Splash on Splash FM. I want to come to I want to come to parents now. Before I go there, we usually say that Nigerians don't read.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
Someone told us that maybe we are looking in the wrong place. So we say that Gen Z, they are just pressing phones and all that. And people have argued that we might not be looking at embracing tech, embracing some of the apps on their phones that encourage or allow them to read whole textbooks and the rest of it. Have we been able to explore that sphere in terms of encouraging people to read?
Look, I'm not an advocate of e-learning.
Why?
E-reading, because I'm always confused and confounded reading with my hair. And I won't lie to you. I'm a very, very straightforward person. If I take my phone now, I want to do a research. I do researches a lot. I improve on myself almost on daily basis. I will click Google and click my question. Before we finish that question, we would have, what do you do? Pop up. 5 people died along Lagos by express.
You want to go there? You want to go there?
Immediately I do that, the next 1-2 hours, I'm more nonsense. Tinubu is opening red line in Lagos. Let me quickly see this one.
News.
Okay. Splash FM said one mad woman bombed Peking for express. Male or female. That's how, and we have 24 hours in a day. this thing it brings a lot of distraction. So let's go and take the book that nothing is popping up. I'm an advocate of hard book because of all this rubbish distraction.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
Okay, so let's come back to parents. I remember reading about your experience. You said you bought Peseta series and read.
Yes.
We read Pesetas when we were much younger. You know, there was this series, many of them,
Yes.
M&B, Mills and Bones, and the rest
again.
of them. You see, publishers will also tell you that there's no money. The industry has been taken over by pirates who are just doing all kinds of things. So, you see, it's pretty difficult to even print books. A lot of people say that, where are the books? When you say read, they say, where are the books?
You know the way out we did? There is always a way out for everything. We started one child, one book, 1 week project. And that one child, one book, 1 week project is all about, if you have about 30 pupils or 20, let's say 20 pupils in a class, the beauty of it is your own child, no matter how cheap or expensive, you just need to bring a kind of storybook. The number 2 student will bring another type. It goes round like that. So at the end of the day, you have 20 types of storybooks in that class.
Okay.
We will be exchanging. So with my one book, I've read 20 books. Because these children, if you know the havoc all these tabs is doing to their life now, they will sit with the tab, you will force them to read. No, they will be playing game from one thing or the other, and time is going. I've been to the West. There was a day I was in a train. I sat with a lady, and when I sit with her in the train or on flight, I would engage you, because we can't be 6 hours and be doing like we are dump and deaf. So I started it, and the lady, I saw her that all through for about 4 or 5 hours we were going to Netherlands from Germany by train. She was reading. She pulled out the front table and started reading all through. I said, I was amazed. I said, are you a student? She said, yes. I said, a student of where? She told me the school. But the thing is, this civilization on these tabs and started from them. She still put her tab and her phone in her bag and was with a hard book.
Okay. So we'll be saying the bye-byes in a few minutes. I can see a lot of responses on Facebook. Still speaking with Mrs. Bukola Ladoja, and on the program Book Splash. I can see your hands, all of you, but I want to go to parents now. You said a while ago by example and the rest of it. Maybe we can do this in 1 minute or 2.
Okay.
What specific prescriptions do you have for parents to make reading pleasurable for their children?
If you want to make reading pleasurable for your children, you have to read.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You can't be watching TV now and say, Bukola Ladoja, and you are watching TV. Even if the child is holding the book, one eye will be on the book, another eye will be on that TV you are putting on and you are watching. So the best thing the parents can do, because look, we parents don't know that these 21st century parents are the most challenged parents. Not like my own father, whereby the WNTV, WNBS will start by 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. and end by 10. These are parents that are struggling with the 21st century challenges. This is information age, and this is the most challenged age, because the information is too wide and too plenty for these children. So you have to be the manager of the information. When I was a parent in this 21st century, what I did was, the TV was in my room. I became the managing director of the television at home. It is only when I want you to watch it, we will watch it together. And when you see that I'm there, you are constrained. You will even prefer to go and take that book and read, because you know the TV will become boring to you. So parents should take it up now that this is a challenged generation because of the influx of too many information. So they should sit down and deal with the situation holistically by helping the children and starting with themselves before they will start with the children. What I did for my children was, even if it is a newspaper, I will read. You understand? Newspaper, I will just engage them, and I will engage myself. Unfortunately, the kind of church I attend, Winners, we always give us monthly books. So that's when I will be reading my monthly books. But parents, because even I talk to illiterate parents, some parents can even read the Yoruba Bible. Let that time be the time you will read your Bible. Some parents are Muslims. Let that time be the time you will read your Quran. Engage yourself. You know, children, mentoring is the most viable and important thing for children. When you are showing example, you have bought their mind.
All right. When you are showing example,
captured their mind.
You have captured their mind.
Yes.
That is a convenient spot to say thank you for coming, madam. That was my conversation with Mrs. Bukola Ladoja, President and founder of Reading Awareness Society for Development in Africa, RASDA. Thank you, madam, once again.
Thank you very much. I appreciate Spash FM and the management for bringing me in here.
I hope you found this enlightening. If you did, join me for another edition of Book Splash next Saturday, same time. In case you have a comment or query, send me a mail, molatumbosun@splashfm1055.com. Or follow me on X and Instagram at Mike Tumbosun. My name is Michael Olatumbosun. I urge you to read a book today. My studio manager is Bosun Alayode.
Splash FM 105.5.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to introduce